Well, good day, nerds. I have done a bit more research this time on the 9.7 middleburg, and it actually turns out you do not require to have a fast tank to get on top of that hill. Only thing you require is a tank of particular size, and regardless of the speed, you can actually get up here. I'm going to demonstrate this by putting that KV2 up here. I'm not saying that it's realistic battle scenario or anything, I'm just saying that it is possible with any tank, and I will show the implication of it a bit later other than T1LT I did in the last video. So what you want to do is get up here, go over here. You don't require any particular speed to get up here, you can easily do it. I actually found that some tanks it is easier for them to climb in reverse than it is driving forward, and on some other tanks it is actually easier to drive forward than climb in reverse. I actually don't know if Wargaming actually bothered to add some kind of extra torque factor when tank is reversing or driving in forward, but it could also be a placebo, I don't really know. There is no game data anywhere that I could actually read and tell you about. So what you want to do is line up your leftmost track, or track closer to this left hill, and need to climb in this particular direction, and your rightmost track should be climbing this particular direction. I'll tell you exactly what is the height required for a tank to be able to climb here, but let's first look at a KV2 attempting to climb up here. I'll speed up the video because it will take quite a long while to get the KV2 up here, as it spawns the first spawn point on the north spawn. Unfortunately, tank destroyers also spawn there unless your matchup is going to be so bad that there's only one light tank or medium tank, then at least one tank destroyer or heavy tank would spawn on the second spawning point. I'm going to show in KV2 while reversing. Let's remove the replay timestamp thingy, and we can actually see KV2 climbing up here in its all glory. So yeah, as I was saying, tank destroyers and heavy tanks spawn on the one spawning position on north spawn, and light and medium spawn on the second spawning position on north spawn. So it's actually quite rare for tank destroyer and heavy tank to spawn up here and have any opportunity to get up here. Like, I was driving the entire time in KV2 and it took me about 1 minute and 30 seconds to get up here. During entire of that time, any of the light or medium, if they didn't actually bother to have any brain cells, they could have actually rushed and spotted KV2, and as KV2 has practically no armor, it would be penetrated by every tank. Now, talking about what kind of size of tank you can get up here, let's go to paint.net. Let me first switch on the OBS. So I'm going to paint.net, OBS, turn off Blitz, open display capture, there we go. Now, as you have seen on the older post that useless highlight rider made, Sheridan can get up there. Sheridan has this particular size of tank, 2.77 meter wide, whereas Grilly can also get up there, but the Grilly has size of 2.41 meter. If you've ever actually bothered to look at tanks size in garage, you'd know that that is incorrect. Sheridan is actually smaller than Grilly, and the inconsistency in size is not due to some kind of bug. It is actually because in game files they don't care about external modules like tracks or gun length, so they're not included. So Sheridan, whose tracks are actually tucked inside the entire body, do not add any kind of width to the tank, whereas in case of Grilly, they add quite a bit of width to the tank, as you can see by the red line, which is for the Sheridan width, max width, and by this purple blue line for the maximum width of Grill. So if you actually bother to do pixel measurements by selecting select tool, rectangle select tool, then doing this and then pressing MM key to change the size of the selection up until you do it perfectly for the red line. If you actually bother to do that and then do maths for it, this is what you're going to get. So this particular spot, this is the 2.77 meter, this is the width of the shading. The entire red line, this entire red line is 219 pixels. So per pixel we are getting this many meter. So if you plug in this many meters into the per pixel width of Grillet in that previous photo, you'll get the maximum allowed value to climb up there is 3.111 meter. So what you can do is go to Blitz Hanger and then check if the second dimension is allowing you to climb up there. So what actually allows you to climb up there other than say TUNLT is STB1. We already saw KB2 is also allowed there because its width is for whatever reason about 1.8 meter in width. For whatever reason, I mean this is the from here to here. They do not include tracks, so if we actually include tracks it'd be around 2.6 meter. I mean this is complete guess. So you can get a STB1 up there that has a spot over here to use. It will be pretty much impenetrable unless enemy is incredibly good at aiming. You would not die. Why would you do it? I don't know, maybe some kind of strat to burn time for enemies for tournaments, or if you want to just giggle and have fun in regular battles. You can of course get TUNLT up here and shoot tanks that are on the B cap over here or over here, but it is unrealistic for heavy tanks or tank destroyers to get up here unless you have some kind of matchmaking that allows your tank destroyer heavy tank to spawn up here. Then you also require your tank destroyer heavy tank to have this particular width. Only then they could able to climb. So I'll cut the video a bit and I'll show some other tanks climbing up here as well. Grillet 15 actually climbing up there. So if you're actually lucky, you spawn on the first spawning position on the north spawn. Correction, on the second spawning position, not on the first. On the first you have all the heavy and light tanks, all the heavy and tank destroyers always spawn here. So if you're actually lucky and spawn the second spawning spot, then you can do it much faster. I have actually timed it and it takes about 40 seconds to get over that hill, so let me skip a bit so we can time how much it actually takes in the climbing part. So let's begin from here. It's already 6:30. OBS is still doing. Let's go to Blitz. There you go. We are at 6:30 right now. We have begun the climb. I'm going to set my tank up. A grill is also one of such tanks where reversing would actually do more harm than driving forward. So it took about 10 seconds to climb that position, and how much time it's going to take to get us all the way over there is about 20 seconds. You can get up here. So if for whatever reason matchmaking actually allowed your grill to spawn up here, you can get up here. Even though getting up here is quite hard, reason is on the enemy team there would be at least one light or medium as well. In worst case scenario there could be 2 or 3, and if they approach over here they would be able to spot rear spotting mark or something like that it's called. Every tank has 7 of those. Grillet's rear one would be visible when it would be actually moving, and Grillet has quite bad cam lighting where it is actually moving, so it might get spotted. If they get up here, getting up here from this spawning spot takes about 20 seconds. I've timed it. Or if they will get up here, then they will also be able to spot whatever the gorilla is trying to do. Now let's put it. You don't actually require to climb up here and grill. You can put your grill up here, knock this tree down so it's going to fall in this direction, and then tanks like any tank wouldn't be able to spot you, because the only thing closest would be your upper front plate, the checking marker over there, and that would get increased camo value due to this tree. So let me go to one of such replays where we actually tested one with one of our friends. So now I have knocked the tree down. That would cover the front marker on my grille. Now I'm going to get in the position. You don't require to climb actually, you can just stay over here and keep shooting grill. What is actually happening is, this is not a bug. In World of Tanks PC, such foliage tree give you +50 to camo rating. So if we actually go back and look at from the POV of leopard, there's leopard, there is the leopard. The grille is pretty much covered, so even if you go over here you wouldn't be able to spot. The actual value what World of Tanks Blitz have is quite less than 50. I have not unable to determine what exactly is, but I'm close to it. And now I'm going to keep shooting at leopard, and leopard won't be able to spot me. That's it pretty much. I leave you with few more tanks to climbing up here. This is the post DHS. As you can see, I'm trying to do with STB1. Yeah, it's quite at the limit and it's not particularly easy to get up here. Just mind you that STB1 has much better camo rating on the move than say Grille 15, and Sheridan and the WZ are still on the same position where they were trying to spot Grille earlier. They are unable to spot me as long as I'm moving. WZ will get close at one point and spot me. I'm just demonstrating this that you can get on that particular spot, on this particular spot that we talked about. And the Sheridan actually is going to manage to hit headshot on. So you can be still parented if you're going to sit still like an idiot like I am sitting over here. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for bothering to watch this far. And thank you for Fugit and you Highlight Rider for showing this to me.